Hey, good Wednesday afternoon, everybody. Meteorologist Greg Majeski back with you here in the North Georgia First Alert Weather Center with your weather update here on your May 7th, 2025. Now, before we get going, we always like to say thank you and welcome aboard to all our new followers here on our growing channel. And if you're not yet officially a follower on this page or you're not exactly sure, please go to the link down below. It's going to take you to the main Facebook page right here. And you're going to hit that like button in that upper right-hand corner. And that way, you're an official follower here on the North Georgia First Alert Weather Facebook page. Now, if you happen to be watching over on YouTube, you know what you got to do. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you're alerted on future updates. Well, a little bit cloudy, a little dreary out there for today. Not a whole lot of rain out there. It's enough just to kind of make things kind of wet and damp. And that's the kind of weather I think is going to be sticking around. I really don't think we're going to get the really heavier rain until probably late in the weekend and going into early next week. And I'll show you the latest model data on that here in just a second. Let's go take a live look right now up in Dahlonega. Yeah, got a little water there on the lens, a little damp, a little cloudy. A little drizzly out there, that's for sure, and not going to see a whole lot in the way of sunshine. We might see a little bit tomorrow, but again, we're going to be fighting the cloud cover here really for the next kind of 6 days. I don't really see us kind of drying out until maybe the middle of next week. Looking at Lake Lanier, also looking at cloudy, damp conditions down here as well, but at least the waves are pretty quiet, so the winds are pretty calm out there for this afternoon. All right, let's go look at our local radar again. Picking up some very light returns here across North Georgia. Not looking too bad, but the heavy rains off to the east there, or the more steadier rains, I should say, kind of moving into the Carolinas. Otherwise, pretty quiet for us right now. We could still see some showers develop later this afternoon and into tonight. So just a scattered threat here for today. And that's probably what we're going to see again for tomorrow as well. Although you're going to notice a big warm-up. We're going to have some warmer weather kind of surge up out ahead here for a couple of days. And then we got a cooler wedge that moves in for the weekend. So a little bit of a kind of a roller coaster ride with our temperatures here over the next couple of days. Now look at what's going on. I think this is what kind of happened. I've seen this enough times. You get a cluster of storms down in the Gulf of Mexico and it steals the moisture flow. So we're not getting up here. In fact, we're actually breaking in some sunshine in here across the central portions of Alabama here for this afternoon. But I think tomorrow we're going to see generally kind of a partly sunny type of day. We'll see a little sunshine. And then we'll have to watch for a scattered shower and thunderstorm. There is a marginal risk across all of Georgia for tomorrow. Again, we might see an isolated storm that may pull severe, but again, I'm not expecting anything too complex or too bad across our area. So let's go look at our regional model here for right now. This is what we're looking at as we're looking at, again, just a scattered threat here. And depending on where those storms set up, that'll kind of dictate where the heavier rains fall. Again, I'm not expecting a whole lot of heavy rains in here for the most part. There's a complex of storms to the south, a scattered threat here across going into tomorrow. Looks like tomorrow morning may bring in some storms, and then scattered storms that's going to continue straight into your Friday as well. Let's go ahead and talk about the rainfall totals. Again, they're not looking all that impressive here, at least for the next 48 hours. This is the high-resolution model data we're looking right here right now. So switching over to that, you kind of get an idea here. In these, wherever those storms kind of get fired up and fired up for tomorrow, you get maybe just under an inch of rain in some of this. Well, there's a heavy pocket right there. But again, northeast Georgia, a lot of these totals up here in North Georgia, not that impressive. Quarter to half inch at best, not really lighting up all that much. But I think as we go into the weekend and go into early next week, that'll change a little bit. I want to show you the latest European model on this, as we're going to be watching an upper level low that's going to be kind of forming in here, or part of it was left at upper low, kind of dragging down here, and we're going to pump some moisture up in here across the southeast. So come watch this as I go through the weekend. This is going into Saturday or Sunday morning here. And as we go in throughout the day on Sunday, and then we take this forward going into Monday, look at the moisture there kind of increasing across our area going into Sunday night and Monday morning. And I'll zoom in a little bit closer here. So we're going to get a steadier feed of moisture here coming in out of the Gulf of Mexico. So this is probably to be our best opportunity to bring in the heavier rains going in towards your Monday and going in towards your Tuesday. So you see that going into Monday morning, and you kind of see it going into late in the afternoon, and that low just kind of sits there Monday late in the day. So right now, the way it's kind of tracking, it looks like early next week will be the heaviest rain chances, and then we don't totally clear out with this upper low until we get to about the middle of next week. That's the way the forecast is trending for the moment. These upper level systems can be a little bit a pain to forecast, especially if they're kind of cut off. So let's go ahead and take a look at your forecast here as we go ahead and take you through the fronts and things like that. Just kind of watch that little timestamp there as I kind of highlight this here. As we're going to remain unsettled really straight through for the next several days. This is going to Thursday, the high rain chance down along the Gulf Coast. And another thing you're going to also notice here, probably going throughout the rest of the week, fluctuations in those rain chances from one model run to the next. And the reason for that is because the weaker systems are kind of hard to forecast beyond, say, a 24 to 36 hour period. It changes from run to run, and we're going to continue to see that. Now, we are seeing a rain spike here going into Saturday. Sunday, it looks like we're looking at the rain chances increasing to our south, and that definitely increases going into Monday. Again, I showed you there on the European showing that flow of moisture coming up. And then again, going into this weekend, because where that high pressure is, we're going to have a little bit of a wedge setting in here for Saturday and Sunday. So we'll have warm temperatures for tomorrow and Friday, and then we'll back off into the 60s for highs across most of North Georgia because of that wedge. And then it looks like we continue to have that rain on Tuesday. And then finally, by the time we get into Wednesday, I start to dry us out. I'm taking the rain chance out for Wednesday right now. If we do have some rain around Wednesday, maybe Wednesday morning a little bit across northeast Georgia, but I am taking the rain chance out for Wednesday. I think by middle of next week, we're going to finally dry out and get some more sunshine back in here across our area. All right, so let's go look at your forecast here for tomorrow. Gainesville, 80 and 59, so a bit warmer out there today, expecting a little more sunshine, a scattered shower, thunderstorm. Again, we'll watch very closely. If we get a marginal risk for severe weather, that's what the Storm Prediction Center is putting out for right now. Again, strong gusty winds will be the big thing, maybe some small hail, but that's about it. Looking at your morning lows for the rest of North Georgia for tomorrow, mostly upper 50s to right around 60 degrees. A scattered shower threat possible for overnight. 60 in Dalton, 60 in Marietta, 57 in Dahlonega. Not looking bad there. 55 up in Clayton. Daytime highs, generally going to stay in the upper 70s to low 80s. 81 in Dalton, 80 in Gainesville, 77 up in Hiwassee, and looking 81 in Athens. So everybody fairly reasonable here for tomorrow morning, or tomorrow afternoon, I should say. All right, let's look at your regional forecast. Nashville 79, as well as Memphis 83 in Columbus. The higher rain chances will be down here toward the south, a little less off toward the east. Charlotte 82, 85 in Columbia, and 83 down in Columbus. All right, here goes the next 7-day forecast for you here. So let's take a look at this. Again, we're going to stay mild for a couple of days here. Rain chances 30, 50, not that bad. Holding around 60, 50 through the weekend. Notice the temperatures come down to the mid-60s. So we're getting a little bit of a wedge coming in here, and those may actually inch down a little bit lower. Sometimes the wedge can be a tricky thing to forecast, especially in the springtime, and depending on the depth of the dry air that's kind of coming in, we could be a little bit cooler than that depending on how it sets up. Then we're going to warm back up. We're going to break things up. Some scattered storms for Monday and Tuesday. Just watch that upper low finally get on out of here. But I think the highest rain chance as far as amounts probably going to fall into Monday. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, we start to dry out. Right now, I'm taking the rain chance out for Wednesday and looking at 79, 59, which is actually fairly reasonable and seasonable for this time of year. So that's what we're looking like right now. A bit unsettled here for the next 6 days, unfortunately. So just keep that umbrella handy. And again, I will tell you once again, expect the rain chances fluctuating from day to day and from run to run. It's just that time of year, springtime, especially we're dealing with a weak systems out there, and you're also dealing with an upper level cutoff system, which is also a very tricky thing to forecast. So do expect it to fluctuate. One thing's for certain, we're going to remain unsettled straight through next week. And hopefully by Wednesday, we kick everything out and we'll see things begin to improve and probably see things begin to warm up. Looks like the second half of May, we might see above normal temperatures kicking back in here again toward the end of the month. All right, that is your forecast. Again, if you're not yet officially a follower on this page, and please make sure you do so. Hit that like button. The link is down below in the comment section, and hit that like button. Look for those invites. I've got hundreds and hundreds of you guys who watch our forecast, who comment on our stuff, and you're not yet officially a follower. I send out those invites. So if you see that, please accept that. It's very important that if we're going to grow this to become the premier weather source, I've got to grow that follower base so we can get the advertising sponsors to work toward, again achieving that goal of a 24-hour dedicated weather channel. That's what I'm hoping to build for us here for our communities. All right, that's y'all's update for now. You guys take it easy, be good, stay safe, and we'll see you on the next update. Until then, y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.